the show here, and this is the News Rant. I've got a special guest right here. He might look a little similar to somebody you know. My dear old dad. Say what's up to the people, Dad.
Hey, how you doing out there? And I'm really excited about being here with Evan the show because I think he is a fabulous person and an individual who really cares about the public in general and people. He's a current event expert, and he has some exciting things that he wants to share with you, and I'm excited to be here.
Right,
Thank you for having me.
You trying to take my show?
No, man, I'm just excited about being here, you know.
That was good. That sounded good, dude.
It's not a bonding thing.
Right.
It's a love thing because we have bonded over the years, and I'm so excited about the things that are happening for you.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, Pops.
Yeah.
All right, man, it's been a couple of things happening, good and bad, throughout the course of the week.
Wow.
We're just going to touch on a couple of things, not too many things,
Let's
congrats to KIESHA Lance. She's ATL, or Atlanta's second black female mayor.
Awesome. I don't remember who the first one is, but
I don't remember the name. I had it written down here somewhere, but I think she was like from 2001 to 2010.
Correct.
So
she's a recent person,
right.
but it is exciting because it's letting you know that some of the old cliches in the days when I grew up about glass ceiling, what's not possible, have slowly but surely been eroding. And that's what is encouraging to me about this generation, that they know there are no glass ceilings. I just want to say kudos to her.
Shout out to her. Now, you know, Dad, it seems like every time something good happens, there has to be a negative Nancy. No offense if your name is Nancy. There has to be a negative.
Not negative.
Right. Matter of fact, I know a girl named Loving Nancy. Shout out to you.
All right.
Somebody has to make the positive negative. So there's a journalist in Atlanta. She's a great journalist, a great on-air personality. Awesome. Her name is Sharon Reed. She was talking about the situation and, you know, race relations, and she was talking about the new mayor and all of that stuff. Nothing negative at all, but she got a letter or email from a viewer. She got a letter or email from a viewer that said basically, you know, she called her a racist N-word.
Wow, that's interesting. You want to talk about reverse discrimination.
But to call somebody racist and then say racist N-word, and then she said, that she was race baiting, and the letter goes on and on. But I just find it crazy that you could, you could, in 2017, there are still racist, ignorant people.
It's a phrase that was said in my family and your family years for years, and the phrase is, how could you frame your mouth to say
frame
that?
your mouth to say
How
that.
can you even say that? Means you had to think about it, or
Definitely.
really did they think about it? And it's a double negative. How can you be a racist N-word when the N-word was used to racially decapitate and castrate and humiliate a person? So how are you going to use that? If you don't like something that they said, if there was an injection, in your opinion, of too much race, or what they call race, then you feel that way. You say prejudice, but you can't call a person a racist name and call them a racist.
You shouldn't even say N-word. You shouldn't even say that. It's just crazy. But you know, I mean, growing up, because you grew up during the 60s and you grew up in the 70s, did you ever experience anything like that, like as far as racism?
In my classroom.
Wow.
I went to school in Howard Beach, Queens, New York.
Shout out to Queens.
And when I was in class, one of the vocabulary words was the word prejudice. And one of the young ladies who I was sitting next to, who knew me, I was on the basketball team, said, I don't mean you, Richie, but I'm prejudiced against the N-word.
Wow.
So that's just one thing that happened. It was real then. What you see going on here now is real as well. it's more disappointing than anything now.
Right.
Because people know better, and if you know better, then you should do better. And if you know better but don't do better, then you're backing up off of progress. And yeah, racism based on color, because there's all forms of racism.
Definitely.
So racism based on color, yeah, I've gone through quite a bit of it, but I'm free from any stigma that it has or could have possibly put on me because I know better.
Definitely. And
that person
everybody
needs to
should know better, but
yes.
Apparently not. But since we're still dealing with race and we're talking about the South, you remember the gentleman that was unarmed, Walter Scott, that got shot and killed?
Yes.
Well, the police officer that did shoot him was sentenced to 20 plus years to death.
20 plus years.
Now, do you think that's fair, or do you think that's, what do you think?
I think that we'll never get to get an opportunity to look at the details.
Yes.
Why the jury came to that conclusion. Because
Absolutely.
there had to be a police officer.
Yeah.
There had to be.
It had to be some solid facts because we've seen all the police officers that have gotten off in the past.
Scot-free.
Right.
So to speak.
Right.
Scot-free.
So it's interesting that they came to that conclusion, and I think it's justice has been served. Unfortunately, his family will never get him back or anything like that.
Right.
But and again in 2017, that's something that's shocking to me. I expect when an unarmed black man is shot or killed that nothing is going to come of it, and it's like an expectation. So seeing this is actually a surprise.
Yeah, and it's I hate to see anybody's life negatively impacted by foolish behavior. Mm-hmm. But this police officer probably, or ex-police officer probably, would get off a good time, and depending on the person's age. But it's sad. It's a tragedy, and I'm happy that more attention, more light is being shown on this because of not just Colin Kaepernick, but the stance that he made.
Right.
And a shout out to Colin Kaepernick and receiving the Muhammad Ali.
That was awesome.
Humanities Award.
Yeah.
That means that he's on a world stage now.
Right.
And pressure's on him to know how to curtail the message and make it the message and not the messenger. Make it about the message.
Definitely.
And not the messenger. And that's the times we unfortunately live in.
Yeah, definitely. I heard Larry King, TMZ actually caught up with him. Did you hear his response or no? Okay, so they asked him, hey, what do you think about Colin Kaepernick receiving that award? And he said, Colin Kaepernick? Not. I think it was the Time, because he was Time Magazine's Man of the Year.
Well.
Right. So he said, Colin Kaepernick. And then he goes into, they asked him, who do you think should get it? He said, Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
This is documented. He said Vladimir Putin.
Larry King?
Yes, Larry King. Vladimir Putin. And he said, Trump was supposed to get it, but he didn't do the interview. I don't know if, 'cause you haven't seen it, but I'll show it to you after this. But I feel like maybe, I don't know. I think he's playing around.
You have to see his face.
His face looks it's deadpan. He's like just
he's
straight
got a
face.
deadpan face
But right.
all those years.
I think he's really, really trolling us, to be honest. But people are going, and does that surprise you coming from him?
No.
Because you know about Larry King longer than...
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Larry King is a professional interviewer.
Yes. Yes, he is.
And he's an older gentleman who has a lot to lose if he makes the wrong statement.
Okay.
So a lot of times in media, a lot of times in the entertainment industry, you find people giving answers that have been previously set. And the longer you get involved and get used to doing certain things, you don't have to write down an answer. You know automatically, okay,
what's going to get a rise out of
who's asking me,
right.
Look at the audience that they have, I think I better say this.
Right.
And they say something.
I think, I hope he's trolling us. I hope he is.
It would be nice to believe that a person of his stature who's watched by millions and millions of people would be a little more insightful.
Definitely.
And say something a little more intelligent. If you're going to say something broad, say something broad. If you're going to say something specific, make it short and sweet. So
Yes.
I'm hoping, as you say, he's trolling us.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for this week. This is the News Rant. I'm Evan the Show. This is my pops right here. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
We got to have him back on next time. So until next time, keep it real.